India's auto industry just had its best year in history. Not a great year, not a decent year, the best ever. And the government basically engineered it on purpose. Here's what happened. In FY26, that's April 2025 to March 2026, passenger vehicles hit 4.64 million units sold. That's your Maruti Swifts, your Tata Nexons, your everyday family cars, up 8% from last year. Commercial vehicles, trucks, buses, the whole delivery ecosystem, surged 12.6% to 1.08 million units. And two-wheelers? A staggering 21.71 million units, up 10.7%. If you've been dodging more bikes at traffic lights lately, that's not your imagination. That's data. So what actually caused this? 3 policy levers pulled at the exact same time. And honestly, the timing was surgical. The RBI cut the repo rate. That's the rate at which it lends to banks, which directly drags your car loan and bike EMI costs down with it. Cheaper money means more people say yes at the showroom. Simultaneously, income tax slab revisions landed more cash in salaried pockets. If you're a working professional or running a small business, your take-home quietly got a little healthier. And then GST 2.0 reforms came in and made vehicle pricing genuinely more competitive. Think about that combination for a second. Cheaper credit, more disposable income, lower vehicle taxes. All three hitting the market together. Consumers didn't hesitate. Dealer volumes jumped. OEM dispatches from manufacturers like Maruti Suzuki and Bajaj Auto hit record highs, and auto stocks. Hero MotoCorp, Tata Motors, rallied hard on upgraded earnings forecasts. For anyone running a business that touches logistics, delivery fleets, or company vehicles, the financing environment right now is about as good as it gets. India's domestic demand story, very much alive, powered by smart policy timing and a consumer base that was clearly ready to spend. But here's the thing, this boom didn't stay clean for long. Because just as the industry hit its stride, a commodity storm rolled in. And that's exactly where we're headed next. But here's the thing, while that party was happening in India's auto sector, the global economy was quietly loading a cannon. And it's pointed right at some of the biggest names in the market. Let's talk about the tech bloodbath first. In just the first 3 months of 2026, January through March, over 73,000 employees were laid off across 95 companies globally. Meta, Oracle, Disney. These aren't scrappy startups trimming fat. This is a structural reset, not a blip. And if you're watching this thinking, that's a Western problem, think again. Indian IT giants like Infosys, TCS, and HCL Tech run on Western clients. And when those clients are slashing headcount and tightening budgets, outsourcing contracts are the first thing to go. Fewer projects, slower revenue, thinner margins. You can actually see this trend building on the layoff curve. It's not random noise, it's directional. Now stack on top of that a geopolitical shock. In March 2026, US-Israeli military action against Iran spooked the entire energy market. The Strait of Hormuz. Imagine a single-lane highway carrying 1/5 of the world's oil. Suddenly had a roadblock threat. Crude prices spiked. And steel and aluminum followed, because commodities don't travel alone. So those same auto companies celebrating record sales, they're now watching their input costs. Steel for bodies, aluminum for engines, oil for logistics. Climb sharply. And oil marketing companies like IOC, BPCL, and HPCL are caught in a vice, buying crude at spiking global prices but unable to immediately pass that pain to consumers. Their refining margins are getting crushed. The winners and losers right now are being sorted very fast. And which side you land on is almost entirely about your industry exposure. So let's break down exactly who's winning and who's bleeding. So now the real question, who actually wins from here and who gets caught holding the bill when the party gets expensive? Think of it this way, someone threw a massive party with free drinks. That's your tax cuts and rate cuts pumping consumer demand. The auto industry showed up first. The mood is electric. Volumes are hitting record highs. But halfway through, the caterer walks in and says ingredient prices have doubled and supply might run out. That's your commodity inflation and the Middle East oil shock arriving at the same time. The free drinks are still flowing. But this party could get very expensive, very fast. Now as you can see on screen, your near-term winners are pretty clear. Auto OEMs like Maruti, Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto. They're sitting on strong volumes with no urgent need to hike prices yet. Component suppliers like Bosch India and Motherson Sumi are seeing fuller order books and real revenue visibility. And the auto-focused NBFCs. Your vehicle financing arms at Bajaj Finance and HDFC Bank. They're watching loan books grow and NII climb. That's net interest income, basically the spread they pocket between what they lend at and what they borrow at. Good place to be right now. But flip the screen and you see the structural losers. OMCs are absorbing crude price shocks straight to their margins with nowhere to hide, and Indian IT firms are staring at client budget freezes as global uncertainty tightens enterprise spending. And here's the twist. Auto OEMs themselves could flip from winner to loser if steel and aluminum costs keep climbing. Either they hike prices and cool the very demand that's been their tailwind, or they absorb the hit and watch margins bleed. Neither option is fun. So if you're running a business in logistics, auto retail, or vehicle financing, the next 2 to 3 quarters are genuinely your window. Demand is strong, financing is cheap, the stars are aligned. But keep one eye on crude. A sustained oil spike above $90 to $95 a barrel could trigger price hikes that kill consumer sentiment faster than any rate hike would. Don't over-leverage on the assumption that today's tailwinds are permanent. The party's still going. Just don't lose track of where the exits are. And that's your full picture. The demand boost, the commodity risk, and where the smart money is watching. Stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next one. Follow us for more updates like this. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and X.